Hi guys and welcome back to West Brom Fan TV. Now today we're going to be predicting the league table for the upcoming championship season. As you can realise, different setting today. We're in the kitchen for this one, so you know it's getting serious. So right, let's go through my predictions. So starting off, 24th place, I've gone for Rotherham United. Now, I think most of you know Rotherham every season in the championship seem to go down. And I watched a bit of them last season, and I think that last game they were struggling even a little bit against Gillingham. So I don't think they've got the firepower to quite stay up in this league. I don't think they'll be completely sunken down there. I think they will be battling out to get out, but they're going to not really have too much of a chance compared to some of the competition they've got with a lot more quality. 23rd, Reading. I mean, that club is in absolute shambles. They've signed Shane Long, but I mean, he's getting on a bit, isn't he? And he's not really Mr. Fantastic anymore like he was for us. Go to 22nd, I'm going to go say Blackpool. Now, last season they were brilliant, I thought. One of the most entertaining teams to watch in the league. But they lost the manager. I haven't really seen too much business going on there. They just seem like they're going to have second season syndrome, but in the championship, so that's why I put them there. 21st, I think Birmingham City, they're going to just survive, just stay out of the drop zone. I don't know why, they always do, don't they? I mean, there's no real reasoning for it. They've got some new owners coming in, I think, and I've just got a feeling that Birmingham City just won't go down this year. 20th, bit of a shocker early on in the video, I've gone for Huddersfield. I mean, Forest are going after O'Brien and Toffolo, and they're two of their best players. And I think they had a really good season last year. I think they defied everyone's expectations. Everyone thought they'd go down last season. And just looking at them as a team, I just think that playoff defeat, they've got screwed over so much in that game with the penalty and stuff that should have happened. I think it's kicked all the stuff in out of them, and they're just going to be in a sort of relegation battle, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Then 19th, I'm going to go for Cardiff City. Now, I think Steve Morrison's first season, to be in charge from the beginning, I don't know. Cardiff are just one of them teams, man. Compared to the rest of the competition, yeah, they've made a lot of signings. Right, sorry about that. Professional as always. I just got jump scared by the postman. I thought my mum was racing through the door. Anyway, I was saying about Cardiff City, going on about them, I just don't really see much. I don't know. It's just, I've got a feeling that they're not really going to push that much this season. I know Cardiff City fans won't be happy about me sticking them down that far because it was a terrible season for them last year. I mean, out of all the players to save them, it probably was Hugh Gill. He scored a few vital goals for them and he was awful for us. Yeah, moving on to 18th place, I've gone for Bristol City. Club just doesn't seem to be going in the right direction at the minute for me. It's kind of stagnated. They're on the way up, they were pushing for playoffs, and now they've just... they made some alright signings, to be fair. The Cal Naismith, I'm pretty sure, I think his name's Cal Naismith from Luton. He was a solid centre-back last season, and he's going to add a bit of a boost to him. But I think as well with Oyman, I don't think he's going to be as prolific this season. I mean, he's getting on a bit, and yeah, that's all I can really say. 17th, Sunderland, back in the Championship. Probably this is about what Sunderland... I think Sunderland fans will be all right with this as a prediction. I mean, a lot of people are tipping them to go right back up again to the Premier League. But, I don't know, they've made some quality signings, and I think they've got a lot of momentum going into this season after that big playoff win against Wycombe Wanderers. And, yeah, I think they'll be safe. And they'll pull off a few shocks this season against some of the big boys in the league, I think, like your Sheffield Uniteds, your Norwiches. I think they'll get some good results, and yeah. Moving on to 16th. Now, this is another shocker, like the Huddersfield one. I've gone for Luton Town. Now, I don't know, it's just, I think last season was a bit of a fluke, to be honest. I mean, they haven't got any standout names, really. I think Luton fans can agree with that. You haven't got a Mitrovic or a Brennan Johnson like... these top teams had last season, or Huddersfield, the O'Briens, the Toffalos, top players like that. They just had a good unit, and they worked well as a team, if you get what I mean. They weren't individuals. But I think they've made some alright business, to be fair, brought in some half-decent players, but it's just going to be one of them years from like Barnsley, but not as bad as Barnsley. I mean, Barnsley was awful last year. So yeah, 15th, another shocker, well, kind of shocker. I've gone for Wigan. I mean, I watched a bit of Wigan last season in League One, and they did look like a top side. They absolutely pissed the league, really. They were terrific in some games, and pretty sure they've still got James McLean, who, former Albion lad, he was brilliant at the Albion. Don't side with all of his political beliefs, obviously, but he's a top player, and I thought he was a top professional at the club. So yeah, I just fancy Wigan this season. They've got some proper decent players, and I think they'll shock us and perform above expectations. So now we're going to 14th. I've gone for Hull City. Just look at the signings they've made. New ownership. They've brought in I can't speak. Seri. I think it's someone like called Tufan. I think, is it Tufan? Oh, I'm not sure if it's Tufan. They've got a really good midfield this season, and I think they're going to progress. I think I'm going to make a even bolder prediction now, and I think in 5 seasons' time they will have been in the Premier League again, because I just think the club is kind of going back into the right direction. All we need to do is get bums back in seats in the stadium, and it'll be a great club again. But yeah, I think they're on the way up, to be fair, Hull. Now, 13th, Blackburn Rovers. I mean, probably about an average season for them. I mean, they were impressive last season, pushing for playoffs and stuff. I haven't seen loads of their signings, really. Might have gone under the radar, because I'm not necessarily the transfer expert, only when it comes to Albion, and Connor does help me out a lot with that. But yeah, I'm just going to stick with 13th. It's kind of a safe bet for your Blackburns. And then moving on to 12th, got another club in Lancashire, PNE, Preston North End. I think that for some reason I've got a feeling they're going to finish outside of their usual 14th place spot and exceed that by a couple. But yeah, they're a solid team. They're very wishy-washy with form, but they're never really in a relegation battle. They're just one of them sides. And also, if they're going to bring in Callum Robinson, possibly, he's going to be great for them, I think. He's not the best for the Albion at the minute, but he's definitely going to settle down well with them. Now, 11th, got Coventry City. I've got a few mates who are Cov fans who probably won't be too pleased with that. They all think they're going to get playoffs, but I think Cov City fans should be happy with me saying that anyway. Because, I mean, they've had some top players leave them. They've had Maatsen. Well, Maatsen wasn't actually a Cov player. He was on loan at Cov. But he's gone to Burnley. We've also got people are sniffing around Gyökeres. Burnley are sniffing around O'Hare. And there's some top players who they could potentially lose. They brought in Casey Palmer from Bristol, who I think will be a decent signing. He hasn't played too much, but I think he's going to make a decent impact there. Yeah, I think mid-table for Cov City. I'm going to stick with that. I'm sorry, Finn, if you're watching, mate. I know you won't be too pleased with that. You probably want me to say something like 6th or 5th, but yeah. 10th, I'm going to go for Swansea City. I think that they've got a good side. They're going to perform better than last season. They've got Pirou. He's a top striker, and I think he's just going to exceed his performances from last season and play even better, pretty much score even more goals and whack them into that 10th spot. I mean, they're a bit of a dark horse this season. I watched Viz's video, another championship vlogger and YouTuber. He's a Burnley fan, and he said that he thought Swansea were going to get playoffs. I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but I think they will be 10th. 9th, going to go for QPR. They've got a very top side, to be fair, QPR, I think. They're always one of them. They just tail off at the end of the season. They always start flying. They're a bit like us last season. And I think they'll probably do that again. They've got a lot of experienced lads in there. I mean, I think they've still got hold of that Elias Chair chap, and he's some player. I mean, I have him at the Albion any day, even though we are crammed full of centre midfielders and midfielding players. So yeah, 8th position, Stoke City. They're not going to do it again. They're not going to reach playoffs. I mean, Stoke are one of them clubs. They're really, really good defensively. After under Michael O'Neill, they're cracking defensively, and they've got some decent players. Like Jacob Brown's an absolute quality player. They've got Tyrese Campbell. He hasn't played much over recent seasons, but he's got a bit of magic in him, that lad has. And I think that it's going to be, yet again, just one of them seasons where they literally just miss out. They've made some alright signings as well, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I can't see Stoke getting players. There's just too much quality in this league this season. Now, 7th, I'm going to go for Millwall. Millwall have made some brilliant signings. They've got that Fleming in, a record signing for him. They've got Phobe in. And they've just been getting better and better each season. They're eventually going to get in this playoff race, or in the playoff positions, because they are really building something at that club. So yeah, I'm going to stick Millwall in 7th. Now we've gone to 6th. I've gone for Burnley. They've lost a lot of their key men. I think that some of the top players have lost. Scott Tawane, I think, will do well for them, new signing. And I just think that they're not going to really push for them to automatic promotion places. I think they'll probably have a really poor start of the season and they'll pick it up at the end, similar to how Forest did last season. But it's just one of them. It's going to be... I don't think it's something that Burnley fans should be looking at, thinking that they're instantly going to be up there and back in the Prem this season. It's going to be a 3 to 4 year job under company. So that's why I've put Burnley in 6th. And 5th, West Bromwich Albion. I mean, we've made some terrific signings, haven't we? Yakushlu, what's his name? Wallace, Swift, Malumbian as well. Some cracking players we've got now at our disposal. Some of the top echelon players in the league, may I say. I think we're going to have a couple leaving as well. Keypre's left. Robinson's probably going to leave. Might even have time for another striker, but I just think that there's a lot of quality as well in this league this season. I think maybe last season that squad would have been pushing automatics, maybe even the 3rd position mark. But I just think there's too much quality from the Prem with the parachute payments and stuff that we probably are going to literally just sneak playoffs. Yeah, that's all I can really say about that, to be fair. I mean, I saw Albion in pre-season as well. DK, I want to mention, he looks like an absolute tank of a player. But yeah, I just think that we're going to have a few sloppy performances like we always do. Lose games against the lower half teams like your Blackpools, your Rotherhams, your Bristol Cities, your Cardiffs. And that will cost us, I think, the automatics. And then 4th place, I'm going to go for Norwich. Everyone says they're going to be back up. I don't know. Pookie's ageing a bit. I think they're going to rely on Hugill a bit this season, and we saw he's not the most consistent striker last season. He's in all their promotional kit. Sorry about that, again, my camera cut off halfway through. I was on about Norwich. But yeah, I just don't think that Norwich are going to, I guess, do it again and bounce back for some reason in the automatics. I just think it'll be one of them to go over everyone's heads and not go the way everyone expects it to do. Because Norwich are always like HMS piss the league when they get to the Championship, but just got a feeling it's not going to happen this year. 3rd place, just missing out on them automatics, going to be Middlesbrough. I mean, they've got a fantastic manager. They've got some really good young players. They just look like an absolute unit. And in all areas of that team, it's consistently decent, if you get what I mean. And they've made some smart signings, to be fair, under Wilder, that they are everyone's dark horses for the automatics, as well as Swansea this season. But I think they're just going to miss out because they're lacking of a little bit of firepower up front. But yeah, anyway, 2nd place, automatically promoted, Sheffield United. I mean, Paul Heckingbottom has got a full season. He's got a fantastic team still, some great players at his disposal he's got. They're probably even, I think, looking at that squad, they're a relegation battling a Prem team for some of them players, but they just didn't, I guess, gel at that first half of the season under Jukanovic last season. But now Heckingbottom's got a full crack of the whip. I think that the only way is up for Sheffield United. I mean, I watched them a few times, and mainly on Sky Sports. They look decent. I think under Jukanovic, when I seen them, they were awful. But that game against Forest, the second one in the playoff final, I think if it weren't for Samba, they'd have been in that final. Did I say? I meant the semi-final, sorry, the one before I said they'd be in that final. But yeah, in 1st place, Watford. I mean, the quality of that team is unbelievable. They've got Dennis still. They've got Ismail Assar. I mean, it's a lower half Prem team at the disposal. So, yeah, again, surely Watford are going to shoot back up to the Premier League. HMS piss the league, I reckon, as well. They're probably only going to lose about 7 or 8 games this season. And win the majority. But yeah. Anyway, we can all agree to disagree in the comment section. I know there's a few people who are going to be shouting down my neck about the Huddersfield and the Luton Town one. But yeah, it's nice to be back on the channel. Bought my tickets to Middlesbrough today. Proper up for it. Can't wait to be back into the stadium to watch a proper championship fixture instead of all this pre-season stuff. I'm actually going to a game tonight, to be fair. West Brom under 23s take on Eton Borough, just because it's down the road from me. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and put your sun cream on. It's absolutely roasting outside. Cheers for watching. Thank you, guys.